What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag.
And I'm NB.
And this episode is recapping and reviewing Siesta Key, Season 3, Episode 6. And it's called, Are You Happy With Her?
And don't forget, guys, stick around for the ending because we are going to go through our recap roundups of the episode, our best moments, our best lines, our MVPs. So be sure to stick around for that.
As always, you're continuing listeners and our brand new ones, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this episode, y'all.
Ooh, so, were you happy with her?
Was I happy with who?
With Juliette. And Alyssa.
And
everyone, basically. Amanda. Kelsey.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many storylines this episode. This episode was great. I enjoyed it.
It was
thoroughly.
Good. Yeah, it was good. Like, guys, like, I'm torn. Like, I'm on the subway and I'm like, literally, I've never been so ashamed of myself. Like, I have to hide when I watch the show. It's so bad. I'm like, no one can see that I'm watching this dirty reality show on the train. But honestly, it was a really good episode. I think we saw our characters, especially Alex and Juliette, in like the most mature position they've ever been
in life
on this show. In life, probably not even on the show, but in life. Yeah. And it was really fun to watch Juliette dump Robbie's crazy ass. So
yeah, that was great. Yeah. So we're gonna just cover it off real quick. First off, we can cut to the feeling again, NB. Like, we can cut to the feeling.
I needed to cut my feelings last 2 weeks, and I couldn't because this damn song was not copyrighted on their freaking intro. And I text J-Lag like right away. I'm like, oh, so we're cutting to the feeling again? He's like, yeah, we are. I'm like, what happened for the 2 weeks? What? They didn't have the song right?
They lost the licensing over like 3 days, and then they got it back or something. It was so weird. No, but yeah, it's back. Super happy about that. But the episode starts off with Alex and Alyssa, and they're covering off what happened last episode. And basically, Alyssa's like ready to fight. She's like, if I have to protect this relationship.
Really.
No, she doesn't look angry, but she's more like, if she steps to me, then like I'm ready to go.
Man. Yeah, she's like more like, this is my man, and I do like you, and now you're mine. But what I really did appreciate her saying in that moment was like, when Alex again gets mad about, I think, Jake, she's like, why are you freaking out? Like, why are you getting so mad about him? Like, calling him a sociopath. And Alex is like, well, cause he is. And she's like, just like who cares? Like, just be chill. So seeing her in this moment, I think I'm like liking her more. I'm like, okay, I think she's like toning him down a little bit and kind of snapping him back into reality, when Juliette was probably like an instigator, you know? For
sure. I agree. I think that because this is the first time we ever see Alex being like a normal human being, she must have a positive effect on him.
For sure.
So
for sure.
That's a good thing. But anyway, this scene ends off with like this, just them covering things off. But like, she just like makes out with him at the very end, and she's like, let's make a bye-bye. She doesn't say that, but that's pretty much what happens. So. Then it cuts to Juliette, Hannah. Remember Hannah? Shout out to Hannah.
Shout out to Hannah.
And Kelsey. And they're all just hanging out in the backyard, swimming. And basically, Juliette just like lays it all down. She's like, so it's going to be like a pretty bad day for Robbie. I'm going to break up with him.
She's like, yeah, this is not a good day for Robbie.
Yeah. She's like, also, I got to talk to him about the phone situation. And
so really quickly, when she drops that ball, she's like, yeah, Robbie like threw like Amanda's phone in the water, and Hannah and everyone was like, what? Like nobody really knew at that point that it actually happened. They're like, they freaked out. They're like, what the fuck? Like, who does that? Like, you're 30 years old, like you're throwing phones. And then I guess their reaction, Juliette's like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna break up with him. Like, there was no coming back from that.
They're like, confirmed. She's like, yes, this is happening. So yeah, in this moment, she's like, I'm done. Then it cuts to Brennan, Jared, and Garrett. First of all, I'd like to say that they are so cute to like hang out together the way that they do. They're so cute. They're like a cute little like boy gang. And they're just like eating pizza, hanging out.
And they had your favorite Domino's.
Yes, shout out to Domino's. If Domino's spawned us, I would like die.
Can you imagine?
I would be so die. But anyway, the one thing that I will say randomly, I mean, I guess I'm just used to seeing them shirtless or like their shirts open, but they all showed up like looking like they're about to go to church.
It looked like it looked like they were going somewhere. And like also Brandon does say like, let's pre-drink. Like he's like, let's eat before we get this alcohol in our system.
Right.
But then I was like, wait, where do they end up going? Like,
yeah,
they kind of just like dies.
Didn't go anywhere. Yeah.
So I guess it didn't make it to the episode.
Anyway, they're just chatting. Everybody's got an issue, but mostly like Brandon doesn't trust JJ around Amanda because he's like, who's this guy? So he's really wary about that. And I just love Garrett because Garrett has just most recently been like burnt over the last like 2-3 seasons. The entire time he's like, don't be stuck, man. Like if you stay in this like middle ground, don't like stay in the friend zone. And then he talks about the fact that
he killed me. I was
Kara
dying.
Disappeared.
Because like it was funny because he's like, yeah, Brandon, like, just don't be stuck. You know? Like, because then you're going to be, like, in that middle ground. And it's like, don't get stuck.
Yeah.
And then Jared's like, yeah, you know, like, Kelsey doesn't, like, she's not telling me, like, what we are. And then Garrett's like, just don't be stuck in that position. And then Brandon's like you and Kara. And he's like, yeah, like me and Kara. like, duh. I'm
like, clearly you have feelings that you need to, like, get out. So just say what you got to say and let's move on. But it is true, and it's really funny because he does say he's like we're all in the same position right now, essentially.
Yeah,
like,
they really are.
Jared, Brandon, they're both in the same position. Garrett's just like, I can't even think of a girl right now. Like he's like, I can't do this. Then it cuts to Kelsey and Jake hanging out. They're doing like that wakeboarding, surfboarding thing. And
so that looks really fun and all. And I want to live my best life on that paddleboard.
Yeah.
But like, aren't there like alligators in that water? Like it looks like a swamp. Like they're literally like in a swamp area.
I mean, I'm sure that's not like they wouldn't do that. It looks like very shallow water, so maybe like they don't go in that area. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they ended like, guys, be careful.
be careful up in those paddle boards. So they end up like docking on the side and just hanging out. And Jake, like right off the top, is like, what's going on with you and Jared?
It was really weird because last week he was all like, oh, I don't see any chemistry between you and Jared. Like, I'm gonna just like be your man.
Right.
And then this week he was like, oh, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Like, I just want to like play cool and like not be that guy. I was like, last week you were like all up on her, and now you're like, let me like ask.
But I think even last episode he wasn't saying like, oh, I want to get up in your face. He was more just like, just letting you know, I don't really see what's happening, so I do want to creep up on you. Right. I think he did incept her mind a little bit, like made it known that he's available and he likes her last episode. And this episode, she's like, yeah, you're right. I don't like him.
She's
like that.
Yeah, and they start making out.
And it's funny because he like approaches it very carefully. He's like, can I like I don't know, like kiss you or something? And they kiss, and like the shot that they have, it's like he like kissed a girl for the first time. He's like, whoa.
I didn't notice that.
Like, I don't know, his face just like really confused me. I was like, that's not like a I fucking did it kiss. It was more like, what? It's like, am I here? Am I alive?
So definitely like Kelsey is like, I see the attraction in him.
Yeah.
Because I think that like, I feel like Jared, the guy that like, Jared will always be there. But here's a new guy into town, and like, he's got a cool house, and like, he seems really smart and like witty and like cute. And she's got to have that Flavor Flav, you know?
Yeah.
She's into it.
I think it's that plus the fact that, you know, like, it's funny because Juliette says something about the fact that Kelsey constantly always like looks for like that next tip, because that's just kind of how she is. She's always like looking for like the next and the better and the whatever. So I just think that her personality is the type of person to be like, I'm just enjoying myself. I just want to like keep my options open. And who's to say that she's going to not do the same thing to Jake? Like, she's probably just there for a good time. She had her fun with Jared, and now she just wants to find something else.
Which is totally fine, but like, she is that girl that like will flirt heavily and then turn around and say, what? I wasn't doing anything. Like, I thought we were just friends. She's that girl. Like, so it's kind of dangerous because she probably does get herself into like all these situations with all these guys. And then the minute she finds something else, she's like, oh, I'm gonna go there. But then that guy's like, wait, like, I thought you were into, like, I can see how like she confuses guys. She seems like that, you know,
like leading people on for the most part. You know, like for someone like Jared who like just wants to lock her down, she can definitely look like a flirt, and someone who just, you know, doesn't know what she wants in life. So then it cuts to Juliette and her boss, Courtney, and they're having lunch.
Yeah.
And I love her little voiceover. She's like, so last time I talked to my boss, I went to Greece and this, and this. So now I need to talk to her again. And so she starts off the conversation. She's like, so like what happened was like I went to Greece, but like it wasn't a good time. So like I left a little bit early and I feel bad about it because I know that my work is important. And Courtney just like goes off on her. She's like, that was pretty stupid of you to do. I can't believe that you just decided to leave. That doesn't make any sense. She's like, but you have like 500,000 followers on Instagram. So like, Shantae, you stay. Like you get to just like keep staying at this job. Like there's no reason that she would have had this job if she didn't have this show. You know what I mean? Like if Courtney was like a normal boss, she would have been like, no, you're done. Like we're not doing this with you. But obviously she's thirsty for her numbers too. So anyway, Juliette's like happy with that. And it never comes back around, like her job situation in this episode. So like, I guess it's just setting up for another situation, but she kept her job. Cool. And then it cuts to Chloe and Alex talking at the bar that they just opened. And Chloe just basically, she's like, just put a table outside and you'll be fine. She puts a table outside. She's like, see, look,
it was
done.
actually kind of cute.
Yeah. So
I'm all about like the fixer-upper. So like it was cute how like she's like, we'll do like grass here, tables here, and like some like little trees in the front. I was like, I could watch the show. Like I'm actually down for this.
Chloe's
like,
renovation show.
Life. Yeah, like I'm down for this.
That's actually a really good idea. You should pitch that to MTV. Yeah. So the one thing that I will say, so they finally get a chance to sit and talk to each other, and Chloe's just running her mouth like nobody's business. So I understand that she is talking to Alex, a friend that she's been friends with for years and years and years. But just last episode, she forgave Juliette and they sounded like they were like back on good terms with each other. But the entire time, she's basically smack talking Juliette. Like, did you notice that was the situation?
I don't think she was smack talking her. I think she said that you and Juliette, like Alyssa's maybe better for you.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's something bad. I think that everyone knows that about Juliette and Alex. And I think that she's not saying that Juliette's a bad person. She's just saying that Alex is not supposed to be with Juliette. You know what I mean? Like,
I do agree with that.
They just bring the worst out of each other. Having said that, yes, in that scene, it did seem like Chloe was closer to Alex than she is with Juliette.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think for the most part, she was just trying to say, like, don't go back to her. But she made a few comments underneath her breath that was kind of like, you didn't need to say that. Like, at one point in time, she was talking about Juliette. And he says something about the fact that Juliette wasn't drunk and she was pretty normal the night that they were talking. And he was very shocked. And she's like, are you sure that, like, she was fine? You know, like, she was kind of prodding a little bit more extra than she needed to when she was talking about Juliette. So I feel like there's I think you know what it is?
A little bit, yeah.
I think though at the end of the day, the one thing that I will say is the fact that we know Chloe, professed her love for Alex like 2 seasons ago. I think that she's always been a little bit jealous of Juliette. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, 100%.
If I was friends with Juliette, I'd probably be fucking jealous of her too. Like, she's a gorgeous girl.
Sure. Yeah.
So any opportunity for Chloe to kind of like dig at her a little bit, I'm sure she takes that opportunity. I don't think it's always malicious, but she just like needs to feel like she's also important. Anyway, they're talking and Alex does try to reassure Chloe, saying, I don't think I'm going to go backwards. That's not going to happen. We're not going to get back together. And that's how that scene ends off. Speaking of ending things off.
Damn, the segue of the year.
One of the best scenes of this episode goes to this, where Juliette is chilling on the beach. Moment.
Yeah.
Juliette's chilling on the beach. The music is playing. It's like bam, 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 bam. And
it's like, you were my dream once, but you're not anymore. Goodbye. It was like that. I was
farewell,
like,
you. Yeah.
She's gonna do it.
So first of all, he starts off the whole scene by him saying, found you, like on the beach. Yeah, and like
creepy ass.
Why is he so creepy? And Juliette essentially says, like, my heart's not in this relationship anymore. I can't
wait for him to be gone.
Oh my God. I'm just like literally waiting for the days where he's like gone. And she tells, the big thing that she says is, I told Amanda about the fact that you took her phone.
Yeah.
And he says, like, to respond to that,
he's laughing, first of all. He starts laughing, which was such a fucking creep move. Like, at this point, ask for fucking forgiveness. Don't start laughing like a 16-year-old little boy, okay?
Yeah. And it's funny because the entire time he's always like, I'm a man. Tell me the truth. Like, I'm a man. I'm a man. I'm like, no, you're not. You literally act like a child. So I don't know what you're talking about. But in this moment, he says, like, time will heal. And I'm like, don't use one of your fucking Instagram goddamn quotes in this moment. And neither did she. She was like, nope. You probably have to go apologize to her. Like, you can't just say, like, time will heal.
Even the music cut.
Oh my God. The music was like, yeah.
He's like, time will heal. It's like, and her face is like, bitch, what?
She's like, no.
She's like, no, you need to go apologize to her. And then he was like, yeah. He's like, okay. He's like, I'll do that.
And then she's like, so I don't want to be in a relationship with you anymore.
So she's like, yeah. And also part B.
So
and he's
jokes.
like, what?
She basically just shuts him. Yeah.
Also, I'm not into this anymore.
Yeah. She's like, I'm just not happy
what?
anymore. Yeah, he's just very shocked.
She's like, do you even want a serious relationship with me though? Because I don't. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, well, I don't want to be with you anymore. So she's like, this is over. And he's like, so wait, what? Are you breaking up with me? Just say it. Like, I hate when people say that. Like, just say the word. She is saying the words. She's saying it. Like,
exactly.
Give her a minute to talk.
And he does confront her and he says, is it because of Alex coming back into town? And she does kind of skirt the answer. She's like, no, not really. It does have to do with the fact that you were like being shady about this phone situation. It has nothing to do with Alex. She does say like it has nothing to do with him. And he says, you should always tell the truth. You can't bury yourself under your lies. I'm like, just take your fucking shitty Instagram quotes,
Pinterest like quotes, and walk away.
Like, go jerk off in front of a
wine.
mirror. Like, get out of here.
Leave the wine for my girl, but walk away. Thank you very much.
I was like, this guy's a fucking loser. Go away.
Yeah, he's a loser. Okay.
So bye. He's gone. And then it cuts to Juliette, Kelsey, and Kelly, and not Kelly Ripa, just like a regular Kelly.
Who's Kelly?
She's like
the
this
worker girl.
Yeah, the worker girl / like Fran now. I have a feeling why they're introducing her, but we'll get to that in a second. But basically everybody's like single at this point in time. Like, everybody's be like, yeah, I'm single. Kelsey's like, I'm single. And Juliette's also like, yeah, things didn't go well with me and Robbie.
So this was kind of a cool scene because they have a girls talk at this restaurant, but it's also being like edited where Robbie's scene with like his fake friends are happening at the same time too.
Right.
And he's also telling them like, hey guys, hey, Juliette just broke up with me. Like, I don't have a girlfriend anymore. And like the two guys were like, wait, what? Like, we're here for that relationship. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And so like you hear like both their perspectives. And it was really funny to hear like Robbie's, because he's like, I don't know where it came from. Like, you know, like I did everything for her. And like, what? Like, it's all about Alex and
Yeah, it sounds like he was very like blindsided by the entire situation, which is understandable, but at the same time, bro, if you did not see those fucking warning signs, then
like
you were not in tune
on top
with this
of
relationship.
that, he's like telling the two guys, I think it's Joe and Jake, and he's like, and then like, you know, I just like threw out like Amanda's phone into the ocean, but I don't know why she broke up with me. And they're like, bitch, what? Like, the music cut again. They're like, wait, you threw her phone into the ocean? And he's like, yeah. He's like, it just wasn't my like best moment. And they're like, wait, why would you throw her phone into the ocean though? And he's like, guys, I don't know. He's like, I was really like, you know, in the moment. Like,
I was emotional. Emotions were high. I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, it wasn't my proudest moment or whatever. But they're still very confused. Like, and that's the thing. The one thing I will appreciate is Joe and Jake, even though we don't really know much about them, the fact that they came for him in this moment, I was like,
for sure.
Okay, at least they're normal.
You need to apologize. Yeah, like they're like, you better go and like backtrack because like you're fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I will say that he even embellished in his story about that specific situation is he literally says, I bumped it off the ledge.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't say like, oh, I took it off the floor and I literally threw it into the ocean.
Yeah.
Like,
I noticed that too. I was like, you did not just bump it off the ledge. You literally picked it up, took it over the ledge and threw it into the water. That's not the same thing.
Psychotic. And I wonder if they're friends now that this episode has been aired. You know what I mean?
I hope not, but I think Jake still works for him. Yeah,
he probably has like no choice. But yeah, it was fucked. And that's kind of how it all ends. They do have a conversation back and forth, like to your point, like the girls group say how she kind of said love you by like, because they were talking about like who said I love you first, and Juliette's like to the girls, she's like, I said it, but it wasn't like real. It was more just like love ya. And then he took that moment to be like, I love you too. And then he wouldn't stop saying I love you. And I'm like, this feels too familiar. It was like going back to the conversation that we had, you and me, NB, last episode about my ex. I was like, oh God, this feels so real.
It's like triggering for you.
It's so triggering.
I think, and she does say, she's like, Robbie was suffocating. Like he was so much, and you could feel it. Like the minute they started filming the season and like the episode aired, like I could already sense it. Like he seemed so on top of her because he wanted her attention, he wanted her hype, he wanted like the glow up that would come from like her Instagram. You could just feel that,
yeah So anyway, so those scenes kind of end, and now he needs to go and talk to Amanda. So like after, he goes and meets up with her at some restaurant, and he apologizes and he says, I'm sorry, I took your phone and I threw it into the water and it's gone, and I'm apologizing. And Amanda basically says like, I appreciate you apologizing, but you are a douchebag. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, she's like, I don't know, like, I don't accept your apology. She's like, you're a fucking crazy. Like, who does that? Like, you're in your 30s. Why do you think that like that's okay to do to someone? And she was like, you don't even know what you took from me. She's like, I had so many things on that phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's clearly true. Like, you don't have iCloud, girl, because like everything should be like backed up. But like, I don't know about you.
Listen, it's not even just that. It's just like, who does that to someone's private property? I know. Like, it's fucked.
No, for sure. Yeah. It was totally fucked. And on top of that, this guy has the audacity to sit there and bring her a gift. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, he got her a new phone. Like, wow, like he's really trying to make up for it. No. He bought her a waterproof case.
No.
Bitch, what?
No.
You fucking threw her phone into the ocean. You think a waterproof case was gonna prevent that from like ruining her phone?
Her fucking face killed me too. Like she was just like,
she killed me.
Holding it in, like you can tell that she wanted to like lunge across the table, but she was like, breathe. I need to deal with this fucking dumbass fucking asshole, psychopath. Because he starts it off by saying, well, I can try to stop it from happening again. First of all,
why would it happen again though?
It would never happen again because no psychopath would throw her phone into the ocean. But then I didn't know where he was going with it. Like, I thought first he was just going to say, well, I can try to stop it from happening again because I won't do it again. But he literally pulls out this fucking waterproof phone case in a gift bag. And I was like, you are a psychopath. I literally wrote to NB right away. I was like, Robbie is a psycho. Like, he is insane. He has a problem. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And on top of all of that, Amanda's like, I don't even think I accept this. Like, this is so bullshit. You should actually be paying for my phone, which you threw into the ocean because no one else, like, it was no one else's issue. You did it, like, with your intention was to throw my phone. This motherfucker, oh my God, NB, so I'm boiling.
That's the thing. Like, she's like, you gotta pay for my phone because she's like, whatever. But he never responds to that. He never says like, I'll pay for it or nothing. He literally walks away from the conversation.
He walks away. He's basically like
straight up, just walks away.
He was like, it was a problem and I apologized and that's it. And I'm like, what the fuck is
it was
this
so
guy
weird.
Is insane. I'm like, first of all, two things. One, you're a fucking psychopath. Like, let's just like end it there. He's crazy. But secondly, you're out here acting like a fucking waste man who can't even afford to buy her a new phone that you threw into the ocean. Go and grab her a new phone, you cheap ass motherfucker.
Yeah, the first thing he should have done is just go get her a new phone. It honestly would have like solved this whole situation I think it would have left a better taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Even though he's a psycho, like I would have been like, okay, at least he like owned up. He like fucking paid for this $1,000 phone. And whatever, he got her a waterproof case, guys. Like, take that
disgusting.
in. Like, it's almost like a taunting. It's like a taunting gift. Like, he. If I ever do it again, at least your phone has a waterproof case. Like, it's like a psycho gift. Like,
yeah, and it's not only just that. It's like if she accepts that gift, then like all of his sins are washed away. Like,
yeah,
it's like he's like, okay, I did my part.
It's like someone punching you in the face and being like, hey, I got you a gift, like bandages.
Yeah. Not even
like
bandages, like the box of empty bandages. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, you're psychotic.
He's psychotic.
Something's wrong with him for sure. Because he even says, he's like, well, you can like return it if you don't want that.
Yeah,
like,
he's like, I got you a gift receipt.
Are you fucked, man? Everything that's coming out your mouth right now is insane. Like, he actually is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it ends off with him leaving the table, and I can't believe this show, like, he got worse as the episode got on. Like, I thought as soon as they broke up, I was like, sick. I'm like, this motherfucker won't let up on his douchiness. Like, he's a piece of shit. So the final scene is everybody at this club, the White Buffalo, and everybody's partying, but like, we're going to cut into like different parts. It shows Alex and Jake, and they have like a moment of confrontation. But both of them are very mature in this moment.
Totally cool.
Very proud of Alex and Jake. And even Amanda was like, yes, you didn't punch him in the face. You're so mature.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, if that's like your bar, then like it's pretty low.
And I think it was pretty obvious. Like, I don't think Alex's, thing was ever against Jake. I think Alex was just hating on Robbie.
Yeah.
And Jake was pretty aggressive in that scene too. So I think in this week's episode, when he was like, look, like, I have nothing against you, and Alex is like, my beef is not with you, it's with Robbie. And he's like, so I don't mean to like, put it all on you and whatever. And I think they like squashed it pretty well.
But, and also take in the fact that like, yeah, it was just a very mature moment and conversation that they had. But it's really interesting now because like now I'm thinking about Jake and Joe, weirdly enough. And outside of the fact that they confronted him in this episode as well, watching all of these things, I would be so scared if Robbie was my friend. I would be like, I cannot like defend anything that he does or says.
He seems like a psycho. Like, when I say psychopath, guys, like, I'm not kidding. Like, literally a psycho. The only reason why Joe and Jake are even around him is because he's their boss. But they seem normal. Like, Joe and Jake seem very, very normal. And like, it seems like that whole friend group likes Joe and Jake. But Robbie is definitely like the outlier and like definitely the outsider because he's a weirdo.
And that's the thing. They were taking his side only because they probably only got like one side of the story, right?
Yeah.
So they're assuming that everything that like Robbie's saying, like, oh, Alex is a piece of shit and this and this. They're like, yeah, true. Like, he's fucking crazy. Not saying that Alex isn't a piece of shit, but they don't know the whole story. They're making the assumption that Alex is wrong all the time. Little do they know that like the person that is like working with them is a fucking psychopath. Like, you want to talk about a fucking crazy person? It's Robbie. Robbie is a crazy person.
For sure.
So
what else happens?
That happens. And so I mentioned Kelly a little bit earlier. Kelly is Juliette's friend, and she bumps into Garrett at the bar, and they start talking. And this is the reason why I think that they're introducing her, because I think that they're maybe going to have a relationship.
What do you think? They were cute. They were really cute together. I don't know. I find him so cute sometimes, and then sometimes I'm like, he's such an idiot. But he is still cute. Like, real talk. Like, if I was her in the bar, I'd be like, damn, he's cute.
He is cute, but I think at the end of the day, I feel like he needs to like move to like the like middle of Kansas or something and just like settle down. I don't know if he just is meeting the wrong girls or like that's just not the vibe that he's around, but like the girls don't want to like settle down. They want to have a good time, but he's out here being like, I want to lock a girl down. I want to get married. I want to have babies. Like, it's hard. These guys are in their their 20s. So,
or like, you just can't find a girl in a bar. You know what I mean?
That
you got to
go
to like the library. You got to go to like a bookstore.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, good luck to Garrett and Kelly, but we'll see. Then it cuts to Juliette, and it's like sad music's playing in the background. It's like,
oh my god, it was so sad. I'm like, she's on the dance floor, like this place looks lit, and they're like, oh, it's like sad music, and she's like looking over, like.
Yeah. Do you think that they make her sit in the corner by herself?
For sure.
Like the producers 100%. Are like, can you just sit here for like 25 minutes so we can get these shots?
100%, for sure. Everything is staged.
Yeah, and then they have like the shot of Alex and Alyssa like making out on the other side of the bar, and
like I don't even think she was at the bar. I think they just made her like look to the left, and it made it look like she was looking in that direction. But I don't. It was even green think screen. She was like there. Yeah.
She was still in Greece at that point.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, cutting to the Kelsey, Jared, and Jake situation. First of all, Kelsey and Jake are living their best lives on the dance floor. Yeah. They're dancing away. And Jared the entire time is like lurking on the side. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? So finally he confronts Kelsey and he says like, can we please talk? And Kelsey just right off the top finally admits like, I just want to be friends. I told you from the get-go that I just got out of a relationship. I didn't want anything serious. And Jared gets very frustrated because he's like, well, you're really confusing to me. Like you kind of made it known that you wanted to hang out with me and now you're kind of pulling back. So what the hell's going on? And now like Jake is in the storyline. So what the hell? Do you think Kelsey's wrong to just like go?
It was hard, right? Because I don't know what's been said and what hasn't been said. Because if Kelsey did say, because we did hear her say, I don't want to be locked down. I don't want a serious relationship. I just got out of a serious one and I'm good. Yeah. You know, she is saying that, and she's saying, I don't want to be tied down. And so that to me is someone saying, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to do me with a bunch of different people. And that's totally fine. Right. And he should know that and respect that. On the other side of it, you know, like I wouldn't have the heart to do that in front of a guy that I liked for a minute and that I know liked me. I just couldn't be all up on someone else's, like on the dance floor with another guy, making out with him. Like I just couldn't have the heart to do that because I don't know, I would feel bad because if the tables were turned, like if that was me, like that'd be really fucked up, you know, because I think Jared was invested in it, and as much as she's not, and she said I'm good, his heart I think was really, really in it. And I just think like I don't know, in my opinion, I think I would have played it differently, but that's not to say that like she was wrong in any way.
Right.
I just don't think I would have done that to him. You know, I think I would have just been like, no, I'm good. I'm done with you. Like, let's move on. But I think she did kind of like pull him along a little bit. And I think he still was right to ask that question, to be like, what's truly happening here, you know?
Right. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with you. I don't think that what she did was wrong necessarily like on paper, but I do think that, because she does even admit it herself. She says like, I know I should have like done this a better way. Like she should have approached it a better way. She probably should have pulled him to the side and said like, I'm sorry, like this isn't working out, but she didn't. And instead she just like Kelsey just doesn't seem like the type of person to have an awkward conversation. She just doesn't want to have the conversation. So she just thinks that she can just move on to the next scenario and everyone around her will be okay.
Yeah. To me, it seems like she doesn't care, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, she's able to really disassociate that and those feelings and that respect. Because if you did respect him even a little bit, you would tell him, Jared, I really like this guy, Jake. We're done. Or I don't want to see anymore. Like you would have the respect to either not show in front of Jared or just be honest with him and tell him what's the deal, you know?
Yeah. But I think that, like if you want to look at like what guys do to girls, or like not all guys, but like the storyline with guys a lot is like they'll string 5 girls along at the same time. Like they'll date this girl, then they'll date this girl. She's basically doing what a guy would do, but because
that's what I mean. Like, but have like be more classy. You know, like,
no, I agree. I 100% agree.
Should 100% be more classy, and let's play this in a better way, because we can play this better. Yes, you can date a lot of people. 100% go do your thing. I'm down for that too. Just play it differently and play it with more class. That's all I would say, and that's how I would do it, and that's it. So,
right,
my opinion.
Because speaking of these girls just being fucking savage this episode, Amanda is also in the same damn boat.
Like, damn, my heart really broke for like Brandon, even though you know we've hated on him since the beginning. But the way they edited this sequence, he was like, he comes back in and he's like,
where's Amanda?
And the music starts playing, like this country music. And he's like, has anyone seen Amanda? And she's literally like pulling JJ out of the club. They're like making out like on the side of the wall. I'm like, fuck. Like I felt really bad for him.
Yeah.
It was really
tight.
Ruthless. But like
really
she's got to do what she's got to do. Like she's just living her own life too. But you still feel bad for people in that situation, you know?
For sure. And that's the thing. I think at the end of the day, when you have it good with like more than one person, like I've personally never been in a situation like this. So like good for you guys. But at the same time, I'm like, I guess if you have something good going on one side and something good on the other side, and you don't want to let go of either of them, then you don't have that awkward conversation until it comes up, right? So I feel like, like even going back to Kelsey and Jared and Jake, it's like she probably had a good time hanging out and motorbiking and doing all that fun stuff with Jared, but still wanted to make out with Jake. So if Jared called her up the next day, she would probably be like, sure, I'm down to hang out with you again and maybe make out with you, maybe not. But like she just is out there having a good time. And it's the same thing with Amanda. She's like, I'm out here to have a good time.
I think too, it's like a little bit of optics. It's like if you're at the same party, like you're at the same effing location, like try to maneuver that better. I don't know. If you're in your own home and like you call JJ over one night and you call Brandon over the other night, like that's your thing. Like do your thing. You're at your house. You're hanging out with two different people, but like you're at the same club. You know, like
exactly. It's just
Brandon's
like, girl,
like right around the corner. Like he was looking for you. Like. It sucks, right? Like, it just sucks for Brandon. Like, he's obviously going to see it when the show comes out. And, like, I don't know. It's just, it was pretty savage, you know?
I mean, the funny thing is this is, like, so karma for him, too, right? Like, he literally 100%. Did the exact same thing to Madison 2 seasons back. Sure. So
that's why, like, I don't feel that bad, but, you know.
Anyway, so that happens. And then, so I said that all the girls are savage this season, but like except for Juliette, because like this bitch is crying in the corner still by the end of this episode.
I will give it to Juliette. She hung on the entire episode. I think she played it so cool up until this moment, and I think still it was fine. I think she really did like open up a little bit, and we saw this really cool scene with Alex and Juliette at the end, and a really mature conversation. You know, she was very honest, and she wasn't being like dramatic. She wasn't being immature. She was very honest and said like, of course I loved you, you know, I want you to be happy no matter who that's with. That's a huge fucking thing to say to your ex. Like, it's huge, in the middle of a club while he's making out, while you know that he has a girl there with him. Like, you know, so I think she played it the best she could play it in that moment.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agreed with what you're saying. And it was like we said at the top of the episode, it is one of the most honest conversations that they've ever had. The healthiest conversations that they've ever had. Sure. No screaming, no yelling.
He comes over to her because she's looking like all Debbie Downer in the club. And he comes over and he's like, are you okay? He's like, I just wanted to come see if you were okay and like talk to you. And she was already kind of emotional by that point, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think like she says like, yeah, me and Robbie broke up. And he says like, you really did hurt me. Like you hurt me by dating my like ex-friend or whatever he was.
Right.
And he's like, you really, really did hurt me. And then that makes her more emotional because like, I guess she realizes that like she did do it to hurt him in a sense, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you do hear that you got through to that person, when you do hear that you actually did hurt them, it hits you even more that you were capable of doing that to someone that you loved, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's what she's crying about too a little bit, that like she used Robbie in a way to get back at him, and that realization is hard to see yourself, you know, that you were like kind of that vindictive. Not purposely, but you know, in a sense, you kind of were.
You're trying to heal, but at the same time, you are trying to jab at him, and that's why. But that's the thing. That's why they didn't work out in the first place, because they would do that shit to each other while they were in a relationship.
They're just immature, you know? Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think.
I think this was a big growing moment for the both of them. I think that like, you know, making that realization between the two of them was very grown up for her to do. For Alex to not like call her like a dumb slut or anything like
for sure.
he would normally do to her, I thought was very mature of him. And like, God, I'm so shocked that I'm saying that, but like I was very like pleasantly surprised by how Alex handled this episode.
And for her not to take a jab at Alyssa, like she didn't say anything about Alyssa. She said, I want you to be happy, whoever that's with, even if it's not with me. I just want you to be happy.
But also shout out to Alyssa. She like gave them the time that they needed.
She
didn't like lurk in. I don't know if it was a producer thing to be like, let them have their moment. But like she didn't come into the conversation. She wasn't. And even after, you know, they ended things off, they like he leaves her. She starts crying. They hug. He wipes her tears, and then he walks back to Alyssa. She wasn't like, what the fuck were you like? She didn't like cause a scene. She was like, okay, you good? Like, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I was like, God, she's really good for Alex. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like she's very. I think she's like the same age as Alex and Madison.
Oh, okay.
And older than Juliette, because when you hear her say, she's like, oh my God, I miss everyone from high school, like Madison and stuff like that. So it must mean that she was probably the same age as they were, and not the same age as Juliette. So
makes sense. Yeah,
she's probably older and more mature. And yeah, I definitely think it all went well. I think, you know, I'm really proud of Juliette for like breaking up with Robbie and like deciding to be on her own, deciding that she needs that independence, and handling that whole situation with Alex like really well, you know.
Yeah, and it was just a very sweet way that they ended off. She says like, I love you, I'm always going to love you, but like their time has passed now, you know what I mean? Like it was very heartbreaking to see this moment where she's literally having to watch her ex-boyfriend move on without her and kind of reconcile the fact that they're not getting back together anymore. And I was like, this is some heavy television to watch right now. I was like, shit.
I think she knows that she has a whole life ahead of her. She's got a huge career ahead of her. Like she can be so successful.
Right.
And like her journey, like it's just starting for her. So that's so exciting. And like I think she's starting to like realize that.
Yeah.
And that it might not mean that she has a guy with her, but I know she's with someone else now, but whatever.
Right. Is she?
Yeah. But at the end of the episode, she gets in the Uber, and then she gets a text from Alex.
Right.
And it says, this song reminds me of you, or it makes me think of you, or something. Yeah. And I really don't think that that's the song he sent her, because it was like a really like weird song. And like also, who sends like a song to someone in like QuickTime Player? Like I would never I would never send like my boyfriend like, hey, this song reminds me of you, QuickTime Player. Like I'd send like a YouTube link, you know what I mean? Like play the YouTube video.
Or was it like a Kelly Rowland like Excel spreadsheet moment?
Yeah, it was like that. I was like, what the hell? Who sends songs like this? Like, you can't.
It was so funny. No, yeah, I agree. I do think that the song was the song that they wanted, because like basically the songs is like, you're crazy, but I love you. Yeah. Some country song.
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty on point, actually.
Sounds pretty accurate. And she's just like smiling.
She's like, that's me.
But it was cute because I like for a second, like in her voiceover, she's like, I guess Alex like totally forgot about me and he's totally moved on. And then she gets a text, and I was like, oh no, he's gonna be like, want to come over or like say something
like, dick
dirty.
Pic.
Yeah,
I'm like, no.
But instead he sends that song, and I was like, that's so sweet. I don't know.
So sweet.
I don't know if it was like a producer moment, but I was living for it. I was like, good job.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's get into our recap roundups.
Let's do it.
Recap roundups.
Best moment.
What was your best moment?
Best moment has got to go to my girl Juliette when she breaking up with that crazy motherfucker Robbie.
Okay.
It was such a funny moment. I was dying when she was like, oh wait, what did she say? He's like, it's time to heal, because I guess about Amanda.
Time will heal, yeah.
Time will heal, and she's like, no. She's like, you have to apologize.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah. He's like, I can do that. I'm a big boy. He's like, yeah. He's like, I can have that conversation. Like, he sounded terrified. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Sure. Yeah.
And then she's like, but also like, we're breaking up right now, so
she's like, no matter what you do, it's gonna still be the end of us. So cool.
And then his stupid freaking lines of, you should always tell the truth, and can't bury yourself under your lies anymore. I was like, shut the fuck up. Like,
what a psycho.
Psychopath. Like, be gone.
And the gag is of that whole scenario is he's like, I'm a big boy, I can have the conversation. I'm like, no you didn't. Like, you walked away from Amanda. You couldn't even have
to call yourself a big boy, you're have mommy issues. Like, let me tell you, ain't nobody calls himself a big boy except for like fucking mama's boys. Okay, like, get over yourself.
No, he's just a sociopath. That's all. My best moment is gonna go to that final sequence with Alex and Juliette.
Yeah.
I thought that was really beautiful to see. It was very emotional, surprisingly, because this show feels so phony sometimes. But this moment felt very, like, regardless of if it was phony or not, I just thought it was a great reconciliation of both of those characters.
Yeah, for sure.
WTF moment.
What was your WTF moment?
WTF moment, it's gonna be your moments, but also I will add to it. I think I was most shocked at seeing Alex and Juliette so effing mature.
Yeah. You're like, what the hell?
Confident. Yeah, I was like, what's going on? Is this Siesta Key?
Is this
watching the right show? So that would caught me off guard for sure.
So my two WTF moments, I had to put two because they're both crazy. One of them was Robbie giving Amanda that waterproof case, because I was like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? This guy's insane.
Yeah.
And also JJ and Amanda making out at the end of the episode. Even though we knew it was going to happen because of the trailer from last episode, I was still like, girl, savage. I was like, this girl is crazy.
MVP.
What was your MVP?
MVP is going to go to Alex and Juliette. I think both of them deserve the MVP of the episode. I think they played it well. They were both like not drunk and crazy and dramatic. Yeah, I'll give it to them.
And for the first time probably in Siesta Key Roundup history, I am also giving it to Alex. I do not know who I am today, but I have to give it to him. I was very, very, very impressed with how he handled the situation. He really, like, definitely respect points for me. Like, that is saying a lot. Like, I was very much like, he didn't feel, and that's the thing, like, I know when Alex can look phony and act phony because I've seen it. This part felt very, like, genuine, if that makes any sense. Like, it just felt very real, and I was like, good for him.
LVP.
Who's the LVP?
LVP is yours, so you go and take it away.
Oh, my LVP is two people. It's gonna be Kelsey for being that indecisive girl who just like wants to string people along, and then Robbie, of course. Like, I hope we don't see him again.
Yeah,
I hope he's gone forever. Like, we're done here.
End scene. Goodbye.
The best line.
Best line.
Best line is Garrett when he says, just don't get stuck. Because it's just like, if you stick around, you're going to fall into the being stuck category. Because you keep trying to continue something that's not going anywhere. I'm like, yeah, thanks for defining what stuck means to us. Because I already knew what that meant. So thanks, Garrett.
It's like urbandictionary.com.
Yeah.
Stuck means you stay in one place at the same time.
Like, what does that even mean? You're going to fall into the being stuck category.
Yeah. He just didn't want to say friend zone, like it's as if it's like copywritten or something.
Yeah.
My best line is gonna go to Juliette's voiceover when she's talking about Kelsey, and she says, "You know what they say, the grass is always greener." Well, that's basically Kelsey's mantra with guys. Typical Kelsey.
It's funny.
So random. And that is our episode. I would like to take this time to thank our patrons of this episode, our Rewinder Squad, White, Nicole, and Faith, our Lit Rewinders, Tina, Ann, Sarge, Serena, Soleil, Kate, and Jessica, and our Mommy Rewinders, Becca, Sarah, Tamala, and Grace.
Thanks, guys. And if you would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind. If you join, you'll get access to all things Recap Rewind exclusive content, and updates.
And also make sure you guys are checking us out on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. You can also find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iTunes. Like, subscribe, follow, review, and comment to stay engaged with us at Recap Rewind. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.